Hey guys, so I don't know about you all, but this was very interesting to me because me personally, I have never really researched things that have happened in Kentucky. Like, I've heard of things and I see things on Facebook and I see things on TikTok and things like that, but I've never really tried to see or what things are about and see things that are actually happening in Kentucky, because honestly, I don't like doing that stuff. if we're gonna be honest, like, things like that is just does not interest me. Things like that does not concern me. But so this was a little out of my comfort zone, you know. But once I got to doing it and once I got into it, it got easier and it got like, you know what I'm saying. So in my paper, I wrote about news, the news channel, which I wrote about WBKO News and how some articles that I've seen on Facebook or some articles that I have read just haven't been the best. Like, I know a few years back I would just scroll through Facebook or I would look at the news and I would see things that had happened or see things that had been going on, and it really explained into detail what was going on, what was happening, where it happened at, things like that. But now, since we got new newscaster, and it just ain't the best. It doesn't really go into detail. It doesn't really tell what happened. It just, it's just not all there, and it's just not good, in my opinion. The next negative instance I read about was reality TV shows. So I'm sure some of you all, or maybe all of you all, have heard of the TV show Buck Wild. And MTV actually put this show on. Well, a couple years ago, maybe more than a couple years ago, they had decided to create an episode or a season or a show called Made in Kentucky. This was hosted in Pike County, Kentucky, and it was about students after they graduated, like how their life was after they graduated and what they were going to do. Well, many of the Kentuckians in Pike County didn't like this idea. They said it made them look stupid. It made the town look stupid. It just wasn't the best. They just said they didn't need Kentucky looking stupid and things like that. And I agree. Me personally, I wouldn't want my town looking stupid. I feel like it would push tourists away. If they seen that on TV, they're like, well, I don't want to come there. They look crazy. All this stuff that they do, they just look absolutely crazy. So I agree. I believe that would be a negative impact. My third negative impact is a Kentucky event. So this one, to me, I really like this. I've had friends that went, and once they tell me what happened, I was like, no, that is absolutely ridiculous. That's crazy. So I don't know if any of you had heard of the Redneck Raid, but it's hosted yearly. And it's normally hosted in Cave City or Horse Cave, somewhere around in that area. And it's like a mud run. It's hosted at nighttime, and you bring your razors, your ATVs, four-wheelers, just things like that. Your trucks, you can just bring whatever. And you get drunk, you party, you have the time of your life. And but think about this: there isn't a lot of law enforcement or things that are there. You don't have service. There's just not a good way to get in touch with people. And during this thing, a lot of accidents happen, a lot of fights happen. And the thing that gets me the most is there's a lot of underage kids, like teenagers, under the age of 21, and even some that are under the age of 18. Like, my friends told me they met one girl there, and she was 16. No idea how she got in, but it does happen. That's at every bar. Sometimes it happens, fake IDs. But I just feel like there needs to be more law enforcement, more security for things like this, so this doesn't happen. Because if a kid gets in there and something happens that isn't supposed to, there's going to be a lot of issues later on where maybe this involves court, or maybe this involves parents getting in. It's going to send somebody to jail for a long time, or maybe maybe it was on accident, maybe it was on purpose, who knows. But just to me, this isn't a good look for Kentucky. It's not a good event for Kentucky, and it's just really negative. My fourth negative event would be print medium. So a lot of you are probably from Bowling Green. I'm from Monroe, but I'm very close to Bowling Green, so I hear a lot about Bowling Green. You hear a lot about what goes on. So with that being said, the Bowling Green Daily News. If you follow it, you know that most of the things I talk about are robberies, like thefts, shootings, arrests, drug deals, things like that. And which, although I know a lot of us, including me, like to hear about these things, I just feel like it would be best if they are told, but I feel like a little bit more of positive things, like that were going around Bowling Green, like schools, things that were going around good in schools, like grand openings, stuff like that, were added into this. It would make Bowling Green look like a much better place instead of all the things that they're broadcasting that makes Bowling Green seem horrible. Like, people that are looking to move to Kentucky, they click on that article and it's all about shootings, robberies. They're gonna be like, oh, I don't want to live here. I don't want to move there. Well, that's just not good. You know, I wouldn't want to live there if that's all I seen. It would scare me, and I would like, never mind. You know, not a good place for me to be. Not a good place for me to raise children. Not a good place for any of that. So, not a good place for me to work because, what if I get robbed? You know, and not that doesn't happen anywhere. It's a lot more broadcasted in Bowling Green. And lastly, my positive impact will be Kentucky sports. Now, this is a very controversial one because I know a lot of people say Kentucky sports are crazy. Kentucky sports are horrible. But to me, I like Kentucky sports. I feel like it helps people. I feel like it helps heal your inner self. It helps people with human interaction and get out of their comfort zone. It helps people find themselves. Like, maybe people don't feel like they have a special talent, or maybe people feel like they're not anything or not ever going to be anything. Well, they start the sport and they're good at it. They're finally going to feel some kind of peace within themselves, and it's just going to help them. Because I know when I was in school, I was going through a lot at home, and I always had my teammates and the sport to fall back on, and it made me feel great on the inside. Like, it made me feel like I had someplace to be. Like, I had someplace that wanted me and someplace that needed me. So it was just great for me. It was a great opportunity. But yeah, thank you all for listening.